Hi, this is Kirk with Forex Strategy Secrets, and in this video we want to show you how to overcome the two biggest trading challenges. This is where most people get hung up. They don't know how to get past these two, and many times don't even know what the two problems are. There are two big reasons traders don't become full-time traders. First of all, they don't take the time to learn to trade consistently. They can trade, they make a little bit, a few pips here and there, and they lose, and so they're not consistent in their trading, so they need to become consistent traders. They're trying to get their education also from free YouTube videos and attending introductory webinars. You'll never become a successful trader by this method. And if you're still struggling and doing these things, now you understand why. The second thing is they are undercapitalized. They don't have enough money to start with. It's hard to start with $1,000 or less in your trading account and expect to make enough money to leave your full-time income source. In this video, we'll show you how to overcome and find answers to both of these important questions. First, we will go over trading skills. Then we'll talk about how to trade large sums of money. To start off with, we will give you an introductory look at a very simple and straightforward trading strategy. You can use this setup for both long-term and short-term trading. We suggest that you become good at both long-term and short-term. We're going to talk mainly about the strategy, then we'll look at the different time frames. A trade can start out as a short-term trade, then develop into a long-term trade. On the other hand, a trade may look like it's going to be a long-term trade, and then it turns out to only net a few pips. Don't get caught up thinking you're only a long-term or short-term trader. Trade the market. Let the market tell you what it's going to do. Now, this can happen at any time throughout the trading day. You don't have time to trade all of the sessions to catch those moves when they take place. So just be aware of how to find them and spot them when they do happen, when you have the time, both long and short-term. When you're sitting down for a few minutes, you may only be able to see short-term trades. There's no long-term trades setting up. Other times you'll see the long-term trades and you can trade them. So trade the market the way it's setting up to be at that time. Don't worry about trying to only be one or the other. Be a trader and trade the market, and then you can trade accordingly. Let's go to the charts and look at what we've been talking about. On this particular chart, on the right side, on the 5-minute and the 15-minute, you see that I've drawn some vertical lines. Now, the reason I selected this is the trading time that I trade each day, and this is where our round table traders trade also, and the pip club falls in the middle of this. This is about a 3-hour period of time, and you can see that in this 15-minute chart, it shows you there's a pretty good trend right here, and as well as on the 5-minute. Now, what do you look for? Well, the main thing that we found that makes it easy is look for a 4-bar on the 15-minute. Now, there are fine-tuned things that we can go over in the course material, and when we trade together that we don't have enough time to explain here. But I'm going to click on these crosshairs, and you'll see they're on each of the charts, and we're looking for on this 15-minute, the bottom right-hand corner, we're looking right there. We're looking for a 4-bar on the 15-minute. And then we want to wait, this is where patience comes in, until right there when it became a 4-bar on the 5-minute. Then you want to be able to find the trade setup on the 1-minute. Now you see that the crosshairs are not on that 1-minute, so there's a big move right there on that 1-minute, and so I'm going to move this across. Now you start seeing the crosshairs come in on the 1-minute, the top left-hand box, and it's a 4-bar on the 15, and it's not quite a 4-bar on the 5. And we'll move it over to right there. That's where the 4-bar, it became a 4-bar on the 5, still a 4-bar on the 15, and the 1-minute. There's the setup. Yes, we're looking back in history. Don't be concerned about that because the colors change. When you see all the colors change at the same time, then that's when you would be seeing a trade. So right here was where the setup happened, and you can exit right here. You can trade through this and exit just a little bit lower. There was a good 15 to 20, 25 pips in that little move. So that's the setup that we want to show you about. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through a bunch of different currency pairs. Leave these lines here so you can see the types of trades that, and we'll point out trades. I'm not going to go to the 1 minute on everything, because if the 15 and the 5 minute are set up, then the 1 minute is very close thereafter to be able to find a trade. Now you can see that I've added some currency pairs here, and this is a tool that we show you how you can get access to in the course material, and that when you click on any one of these currency pairs, it changes all 4 charts at the same time. And the crosshairs that we talk about, that is part of the course also. So what we want to do now is just look through this 5 minute and the 15 minute charts. I'm going to scroll through them. You can look at the others if you want to, but there won't always be things setting up there. In a little bit, we'll talk about this 1 hour and the 15, the longer term setups. So right here, so on this 5 minute and 15, look as I go between the different currency pairs. So now I click on the pound yen. You see that during this period of time, there was a little bit of a move right here. We can put this on the 5 minutes. You can see that the 15 was a 4 bar right there, and the 5 minute, there was a trade there. It wasn't very big. And so what we want to suggest also is look for the pairs that are moving that day. The pound dollar moved okay. The Aussie dollar moved okay that time. Now look right here. I'm getting the 5 minute 4 bar. The 15 minute is not a 4 bar. It's an early bird filter. That also works if it's in a trend. If it's not a trend, you want to have a 4 bar. And right there's a 4 bar, and so that would be when you could see a decent little trade. That was a 25 pip move there. And this was a nice move. You saw almost from the very beginning on this one, you don't see any red. I mean, it slowed down enough to change the color. And so if you started there and went up to here, we're looking at 20 pips. It wasn't a big move, and it took a long time to do it, but it was still a decent trade. So if you wait till about right in there when the 5 minutes set up, then there's your trade on that one. Euro dollar, it moved, and there was a few pips in there. Some of these are not that big, but they're good trades. This one, the euro yen, this particular day on this time period wasn't that great. After the session, some people are trading there. You can see that it had its big move for a 20 pip move. The pound Aussie, it didn't start off so well because it was completed. It took the break and then took off again. And so right in here was a trade. See, that moved about at 40 pips total. And so you could have taken a portion of that. Pound New Zealand. What do we see here? There's a 4 bar there. How many pips did it go? It moved like 60 pips. And so there's two good trades, or two good currency pair moves that moved during the time that we normally trade. This one, there was a decent move, but it was really hard to read because it was up and down and not really smooth. The Euro Aussie was a decent move. Now you'll notice, now what I'm doing, I'm just going very simply, looking for a 4 bar on the 15 minute, then waiting until I see a 4 bar on the 5 minute. And in this case, you can actually see the 1 minute at the same time, and there's an entry signal, and it moved 35 pips on the Euro Aussie. So that was a pretty decent trade for 30 some odd pips. And then we have the Euro New Zealand, and you can see that it had a a nice move right there also. And it's for 50 pips. We're seeing all kinds of trades. We've seen, I think, as high as 60, down as low as 15.20. But look at all of them that happened during the time that I normally trade. Let's look at gold and see if it was good. Some days gold is fantastic. Other days it's hard to read. On this one, as you can see right here, it doesn't look like it moved very well, but let's just really take a closer look at it. It moves a lot when it moves. And so I'm going to click here, and right there was a 4-bar on the 15 and a 4-bar on the 5 right there. So that's where the setup, and that was a 50 pip move. You could have taken possibly 35, 40 pips out of that. And there was a smaller move. So there was one good move that was easy to read during that same time that we've seen plenty of moves. So now we've looked at this 15.5.1 course material. Now let's take that same setup and move it to a larger time frame so that you can do long-term trading. You don't have to learn any new setups. You just change the time frames. So now we're going to be moving this 15-minute over. You can see the two vertical dotted lines. I'm going to leave this here so you can see where that is in relation to when I trade versus when some things started happening. It looks like something happened during the European session here. But we go to the 1 hour time frame. So I'm going to use the 15-minute crosshair and go to the 1 hour. What are we looking for on the 1 hour? That's the larger time frame. Right there on the 1 hour it was a 4-bar. The 15 was a 4-bar. And look at the setup. It's over, during that 1 day period of time, is 229 pips on gold if you traded gold. Most of the time we don't trade gold long term, but I've started seeing some traders take some of these larger moves on gold. Let's go back through and look at some of the other pairs now. Here's the Euro New Zealand. And see, we're starting clear over here on this day bar. We're moving until we see the 1 hour to 4-bar. We look to see if the 15 is a 4-bar. Right there became a 4-bar. Now, this one didn't move very far, but it was the 38 pip move. And then is where the big move started, someplace during the European session, and then there was a 90 pip move on that one. Now, we're looking at this 1 hour time frame, and when it sets up as a 4-bar, just like we talked about before, then that's when you can see some of your big moves. I'm going to go through a few of these. Now, this one had the Euro Aussie had a move up, a move down, and a move up. Now, let's see how many of those were 4 bars. So we go back over here. Okay, there's a 4-bar. Wasn't a 4-bar on the 15. Right there's where it first became a 4-bar on the 15. And there was a 20 pip move. Now, this is where some of the moves start out as, now it looks like it might be a long-term big trade, but then it only nets a few pips. And then it actually turned a few hours later. Now, this is in a trend, so you can use the early bird filter on this one because it's below the moving average on the 1 hour. Look for your 4-bar on the 15, and there was a 30 pip move. Probably could have taken even 35, 40 out of that one. Then look, it changed again. Now, this is right when we're starting to get into the time that I'm starting to trade, and there was a move. It moved 17 pips, come back, and then had its other move of 37 pips. Wasn't big, but you can see how the long-term setup and the short-term setups many times fall right in line. That's why we're suggesting that learn how to trade the market. And you think, I'm just a long-term trader. Well, if you're noticing, that the long term is set up is setting up the same time on the short term trades for the good trades. It doesn't always have to be one or the other. This one, pound CAD, it just, other than a little bit during the U.S. session, it wasn't that great. Pound New Zealand, we had a good shot right in here, but look at the big picture here on how this one, when it started. Right there was an early bird filter. That's good enough on the 1 hour, 4 bar on the 15. And notice there was over 100 pip move. Now, you had to have been at the trading station earlier than when I start. So this would be, you get it really early or you're trading in the European session. And you can see this one started earlier also. Pound US. Okay, this had a long run down. Let's see what it looks like on the 1 hour. 4 bar. Let's go back here a little bit on this one. Okay, right there, it wasn't a 4 bar. 15 minutes later, it was a 4 bar. So that's where the trade could start. Look at the 1 hour, the 15, and it didn't hardly retrace against you at all. It went down 30 pips, came back 20 of those pips, and then went on down to total of 71 pips, or in the 70 pip range. Now, you notice that it went through the U.S. session. So you could have started this trade. Oh, let's see, what time would that start? I would have been in bed this, so I would probably miss this one, but the European guys could have set this on, gone, done a lot of stuff throughout the day, and closed it down here or managed it. You could have closed it during this trading session also and had a nice move. So I hope you're catching on that the long-term and short-term don't have to be separated. Learn concepts. If you're there when the 1 hour is setting up a 4 bar, so you want to glance at that once in a while, and then wait till a 15 is a 4 bar. And here's another one that gave you 50, 60 pips on that one. Click through the last couple. You can see that there were some 4 bars there that probably could have taken out some of that one. This one looks like it in the European session had a big move of over 80, 90 pips on the euro dollar. And the euro yen, it had a nice setup too. Started in the European session and went for 50 or 60 pips. So hopefully you're catching the concept is just learn what 4 bars are, early bird filters, look at the larger time frame, confirm that on the smaller time frame, and then take the trade and manage it accordingly and trade in the direction of the trend. Now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint now. You don't ever have to be the same again after you watch this webinar if you really understand what we're talking about. If you like what you have seen with this simple setup, stay tuned and see the whole new world of trading open up to you. If you don't like what you've seen so far, then stop watching because we don't want to waste any more of your time if this is not going to be something that would work for you. We are only trying to pique your interest in this webinar. There's too much in this process to cover in one introductory webinar. Most of it's very detailed stuff. We gave you the majority of the information. This is just an overview and the first step of something bigger than we've ever offered before. If you qualify and are interested, here are some of the things that we are looking for. We're looking for traders that can follow instructions, are teachable, want to become good traders, and they want to trade for a living. They want to trade other people's money at the same time they trade their own money. They don't have enough money to make a living as a full-time trader. And so we're going to show you how that problem can be taken care of. You can find money to trade, large sums of money to trade, so that you can make a living trading. You need to have patience. That's what we're looking for. People have patience, or they'll discipline themselves to follow a simple formula and develop the patience. We're looking for people that are making or have the confidence to make 10 to 15 pips on a 10 or 15 pips every day consistently. We're not looking for thousands of pips. We're looking for consistent pips. We can show you how to make more money than you ever thought possible by being a team trader rather than trading and trying to do it by yourself. Learning this simple trade setup can make all the difference in your trading. We know this system works because many traders that we have are doing it. They're showing the proof. They're showing us the results of what they're doing. We also know that the system will not work because we have other traders that try it and will not follow the rules. That's why it doesn't work. If you try to bring in other things that didn't work, or maybe some things that do work good, mix them with our information, combining the two things together doesn't make one better. It makes so that neither one of the systems will work as well as they could. So that's why it doesn't work for some people, is because they try to do things. They either want to bring with them all the things that haven't worked for them in the past, or they want to reinvent the system and change what is working. They want to tweak it. They want to make something different instead of just following and having patience and waiting for it to set up properly. If you don't like where you are in your trading right now, you can change it. If it's easy, do it easy. If it's hard, do it hard. Just get it done. Do the change. If you want to be a trader, you're going to have to do it easy or do it hard, but you're going to have to do it if you're going to reach that goal you have in trading. By making just 15 pips a day with all we have talked about, or we'll talk about in this webinar, you can do it. We're talking about 15 pips a day, and you can make a full-time living if you know how to trade, follow the system, and know how to find large sums of money to trade. Then you can make a living doing trading. You can make an amazing amount of money following this simple setup. You can make that money trading your own money. And for those who qualify, we can show you how to do at least 3 other ways that you can find to trade other people's money with little or no risk to you or them. First, you just need to learn this duplicatable, repeatable process. If you join us, we'll show you how to make a lot of money trading from several different sources at the same time. We don't ask traders to do more than they are doing. We ask them to do less on a consistent basis, but do it right. Many people know of our trade copier, but we still need some traders to maximize this concept. If you're not consistently making 10, 15 pips a day, then you need to start with our mini coaching program. If you don't want to be a trade copier trader, then we have at least 2 additional ways to make huge sums of money while you're trading. It's one thing to watch a video about a setup. It's another thing to watch someone point out the setup, then be able to ask questions. We fine-tune the trader by showing them little details that you can't go in just one static webinar. But if you actually see the market moving, we can just tweak things just a little bit, and then the whole light comes on, and you're able to see what's actually happening when the market's actually live. You learn more while watching and doing than you do by videos or reading alone. So if you need a little extra help, you should start with our mini coaching program. In our mini coaching program, we offer 6 hours a week of coaching. That's quite a bit. You get some course material, mindset training, and a strategy scanner. The scanner brings trade setups to you. Now, this brings to your attention so that you can trade the pairs that are moving that day. You notice in our illustration, some pairs were moving, some weren't. And the scanner can bring those setups to your attention, so you don't necessarily have to find them all. Just set your scanner to locate 4 bar setups, and when that goes off, then that's the time you're looking at those pairs. And with the mini coaching and all the course material and the time trading together, you'll have a chance to qualify to join our advanced coaching program if you so desire. And with all the material you've seen as far as the coaching, the course material, and the scanners, you also have a chance to join our advanced coaching program with additional coaching and training. Now, to get started with the mini coaching is only $399. Then to continue, it is only $100 a month for the coaching and the scanner. Now, that is only $4.16 per hour for the coaching. That's 6 hours a week, as compared to our normal coaching program, $125 per hour. So you decide which one you would like to start out at, $4.16 or $125 per hour. The advanced coaching program does not cost any more. That's amazing. We're giving you advanced training and coaching, and it doesn't cost any more. That means that if you take it, you will get more, and I'll share with you what you get additional, but that is only the cost of $1.25 an hour for advanced coaching, the scanner, and an education. You just need to qualify. That's the key. You need to qualify. You don't come there to be taught. You come there to take what you know and perfect and fine-tune. The course material and the mini coaching is where you learn, and then you qualify by making 10 to 15 pips a day. Then you can come in and really fine-tune your trading. If you qualify, you get 10 additional hours of coaching a week, and you can trade with some of the best traders in the world. Now, that's why the price goes down cost per hour, because you get more hours of trading and training. Now, these happen between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern. So you have a time references of when this is going to take place. If that doesn't fit, maybe this is not going to work for you. So here's the link to get the mini coaching course material, the mindset material, and the scanner. So click on this link. You can stop the video. You may have to type it in, and then you can sign up for the mini coaching. For more information on advanced coaching and how to make huge sums of money with the same effort, you can contact us with an email or a phone call. Now, if you call and don't reach us, leave a clear message with your name, number, and a good time to call you back. Please speak clearly. We get many calls where people talk so fast we cannot understand what they're saying, and we have no way of calling them back. The phone number is not clear. We can't understand the numbers, so just talk clearly and slowly, and then we can be sure and return your call. If you send an email, you need to give us a phone number or a Skype ID and a good time to contact you. There are many other ways people like to be contacted, but if you're going to be working with us, you're going to have to use Skype, because that's where all of our material is, all of our forums, all of our communications. And so you need to get in tune with what we're doing if you want to be part of our program. So that's why we just need a Skype ID. When we meet, it is to get to know each other and to see if this is a good fit for both of us. If it is going to be a good fit, it's going to be easy for both of us, and you'll become a successful trader, and we'll be able to have some more team traders to trade with. If it's not a good fit, then we can give you some direction as to what you might do to reach your trading goals. This is not a high pressure. This is trying to find the right fit, so it's good for both of us. So here's the contact information again. The email is jed@forexstrategysecrets.com, or call 385-330-7500. We hope this was of interest to you, and we'll be looking forward to getting to know you better in the future.